Yes, sir. Hello, hello, hello. Testing. Caw.
Is it going?
Lekker.
Bangladesh's record home win, snatching a thunderous 1-0 lead, ignited Chattogram in this three-match T20 International Series. New Zealand fought hard with half-centuries from Kate Clark and Dane Cleaver, posting a solid 183 for the Tigers to chase. But Tawhid Ridhoi's blistering 50 of just 27 balls turned it into a cakewalk. Shahid Hussain joined the party, steering Bangladesh home by 6 wickets with 12 balls to spare. It's time now to reset as the second T20 International kicks off. The burning question, can the Kiwis summon the fire to claw back and level the series? Or will the Tigers roar to victory? Stay locked in. This heart-pounding showdown is about to ignite.
Nice, but the biggest question is, will the weather permit some action here in Chattogram? It's match number 2 of this Dutch-Bangla Bank series between Bangladesh and New Zealand here in Chattogram. This is no longer about staying alive. This is about restoring balance for New Zealand. One win here and the whole conversation changes. On the other hand, this is Bangladesh's chance to take the series off the table. Yeah, the first T20 international, Bangladesh go on to win by 6 wickets after New Zealand posted 182 for 6 after being sent to bat first. In reply, Bangladesh did well, courtesy of unbeaten 50 from Tawhid Hridoy and a cameo knocks from Shamim Hossain and Parvez Hossain Imon, winning it with 2 overs to spare. It has been Bangladesh's highest successful run chase here at home in the first T20 international against New Zealand. The previous highest chase has been 171 against Ireland. Yes, it's a different atmosphere here. It's a different setup for us as well, as the weather didn't permit us to go out and do the studio. But I'm alongside Hamish Rutherford and Atar Ali Khan. I'll start with Hamish. Hamish, a bit different feeling compared to what we had in the first 2 ODIs in Dhaka. It was too hot. It's quite cold here.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's been quite wet over the last sort of 24 hours or so, but it's much different conditions. So hopefully the wind blows and clears it up and we can get out there at some point this afternoon.
Otherwise, talking about this match, obviously Bangladesh taking the lead in the first T20 international. We have seen how they chase the target. Obviously, the weather will play a big role in this game as well. Hoping for some action in the middle?
Well, it all depends if these clouds just move away. But it looks quite dark. It looks very overcast. We had the rains yesterday, and hopefully we've got our fingers crossed that we might have some play. But if it doesn't, but if you look at what Bangladesh achieved in that first T20 international and the manner they chased, I think what stood out for me, Mazhar and Hamish, is that 4, 5, 6, the batters scored more than 100 runs, but eye-catching and something brilliant something happened in the middle. These 3 batters scored those runs at a strike rate of more than 200. 203. We've never seen that before in a T20 international from Bangladesh in the middle order to score those runs in that manner. I think that stood out for me, which just shows the kind of mindset these youngsters have. I think they're very, very keen to go and prove themselves. Ooh.
Yeah, just talking about Tawhid Hridoy, Hamish, the way he played, he was under tremendous pressure when he went into the middle. Chasing always difficult. Tell us more about the knock.
Yeah, no, it was really good, wasn't it? Accessed all around the ground, showed sneaky power, the ability to just time the ball. I think a lot of players, watching this will be able to learn from it, from New Zealanders as well. Watching the way he played, it was sensational. Just all around the ground, as mentioned. And they just, the partnership there, I think it was maybe after the 10th over when they came together and just took the game away from New Zealand.
Yeah, just talking about Bangladesh's highest successful chase here in Bangladesh. It was in the first T20 international, courtesy of 340-plus partnership from the Bangladeshi batters. Obviously, Tawhid Hridoy was the main batter in the middle, but the likes of Parvez Hossain Imon and Shamim Hossain changed the course of the game in the end. The way they finished the match and the partnerships, otherwise, it was very crucial from Bangladesh's point of view.
Yeah, slowish start. When you're chasing a 180-plus target, 41 of 37 is what the first pair added. Litton only added 25 with Tanzid. But Hridoy started to flourish when Imon got into bat because he's the one who took those chances and hits those big sixes. And when you get that partnership, then the ball started to roll in their favor because after the end of the 10th over, Bangladesh was struggling, 77 for 2. So still a long way to go for them. But I think Imon just releases the pressure. And when we saw what Shamim Hossain did with the bat, was outrageous shots, some incredible shots, innovation, then the ball started to roll in their favor. Absolutely brilliant the way they handled themselves under pressure, and hopefully more to come from these youngsters.
Right, Shamim Hossain played an outstanding knock, a cameo knock in the first T20 international. We caught up with Shamim Hossain earlier in the day. I've got Shamim Hossain alongside me. Shamim, প্রথম ম্যাচটা দারুণ গিয়েছে বাংলাদেশে। আপনার পার্সোনালি যদি বলি, আপনার ইনিংসটা নিয়ে যদি বলতেন, যখন ক্রিজে গিয়েছিলেন মাথায় কি চলছিল?
আসলে আমি যখনই ক্রিজে যাই আমি পজিটিভ থাকার চেষ্টা করছি আর ওই সময় রানও দরকার ছিল আর আমি আমার স্ট্রেংথে বিলিভ ছিলাম, আমি আমার স্ট্রেংথের উপরে বিশ্বাস, সো আমি ওয়েট করছি, সো আমি ওইখানেই সাকসেস হয়েছি।
আপনার ওই 6টা নিয়ে জিজ্ঞেস করতে হবে, ওই শটটা কতটুকু প্র্যাকটিস করেন এটা নেক্সটে, যেটা সেই ম্যাচে খেললেন 6 হলো যে পিছন থেকে স্কুপ করলেন যেটা আর কি, ওই শটটা নিয়ে যদি একটু বলতেন।
আসলে এটা আমি অনেক আগে থেকে প্র্যাকটিস করি, সো আর আমি এইগুলা ডিভিলিয়ার্সের থেকে আমি বেশি করি, ওর ব্যাটিং দেখি আর হলো প্র্যাকটিসে অবশ্যই সবসময় চেষ্টা করি এইসব শট, ইম্প্রোভাইজিং শট কীভাবে খেলা যায় এগুলো ট্রাই করি, সো ওইটা আমি সাকসেস হয়েছি।
অ্যাজ এ প্লেয়ার যখন এই রকমের ওয়েদার থাকে, বৃষ্টি থাকে, তখন মেন্টালি কিভাবে প্রিপারেশনটা নেন, আর ড্রেসিং রুমে কীরকম কথাবার্তা চলে বা এনভায়রনমেন্টটা কী থাকে তখন?
বুঝি।
বললাম এই ধরনের ওয়েদারে যখন খেলাটা স্টপ হয়ে থাকে, যখন খেলা শুরু হবে কি না, মেন্টালি কিভাবে নিজেকে রেডি রাখেন?
অবশ্যই, যেহেতু আমরা প্লেয়ার্সও অবশ্যই সবসময় প্রিপেয়ার থাকি এবং ওয়েদারের উপর তো কোনো হাত নেই, সো রেডি থাকি এনি টাইম, যে কোনো সময় খেলা শুরু হতে পারে, সো সবসময় মেন্টালি রেডি থাকি।
মিউজিক চলে নাকি ড্রেসিং রুমে?
না, মিউজিক চলে না।
থ্যাংক ইউ শাহিম হোসেন।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Yeah, maybe no music in the dressing room, but we had music earlier in the day here in the comm box. But talking about New Zealand, they lacked in partnerships. Just one 50-plus partnership, a big one for New Zealand. Other than that, nothing happened for them during the first T20 international. But the likes of T20I Clark and alongside the other batter, they batted really well. And Cleaver alongside. This partnership, it could have been better if it could have stretched a bit. Maybe a big partnership, 1 and 2 later on, could have helped New Zealand to chase or post a book total on the board in the end.
Yeah, I mean, they lost the toss and they were sent in. Obviously, they lost the early wicket of Tim Robinson with the run out. Brilliant piece of work there. But these two put on a nice partnership. Cleaver, he might not have been playing even this game had it not been for Tom Latham's injury. But they accessed all parts of the ground. We saw a lot of switch hits, a lot of ramps. And I think T20I Clark posted his first 50 in this format. It was beautiful. Probably hasn't played cricket for a while actually, but so no, he found some good firm Northern early in this series. He's a quality player. He's been around a while now, plays for Northern Districts back in New Zealand, but he's really learnt over the last couple of years his game is better. We saw a lot of sweep shots, a lot of reverse sweeps. It was the undoing for Cleaver at one point, but as I mentioned, they access all around the ground. They put the Bangladesh bowlers under good pressure throughout. And yeah, I guess you're right in saying that it could have been longer, but 80-run partnership in 2020 cricket's very good.
When it comes to New Zealand, they'll be hoping to bounce back. And T20I Clark, who scored a 50 in the first T20 international, we caught up with him earlier in the day. I've got T20I Clark alongside me. Ketan, obviously the first match didn't go your way, but tell us more about your maiden ODI 50, T20 50. You must be happy.
You're very happy to get some runs on the board, I guess, first time over in the Asian conditions. Yeah, unlucky not to get over the line, but I think we showed that we've got the ability to score some runs and put a total on the board, so hopefully we can hold them off this time.
You come from a sporting background. Your father played national rugby, international rugby for the team. Did he call you after you scored your maiden T20 50?
He unfortunately doesn't have WhatsApp, so I couldn't get in touch with him, but passed on some messages through the family, so yeah, it's good.
In this sort of conditions where you have to wait for the match to start, how do you adapt yourself mentally in the dressing room? What goes on in the dressing room?
I think, yeah, just being willing to obviously the conditions aren't ideal, but still keeping your mind sharp and sort of focusing that it could be a quick turnaround on the park as soon as possible. So,
cheers, man, and all the best.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Yeah, happy T20I Clark there, batted well. And we talk about the phase scores. Bangladesh dominated the mid phase. New Zealand, on the other hand, just struggled a bit. That actually changed the course of the game in the end, otherwise.
Well, I mean, yes, you can say that, but it's still 182 when you manage to score in a T20 international. That's a good score on any wicket. So I thought maybe they had enough runs on the board. Maybe the bowling was not great, but when you could have added a few more in the middle overs, obviously the total from 182 goes to 200 plus. Remember, Bangladesh went on to win the match with 12 balls to spare, chasing 182. So that says that even if they had scored 200 or more, it was on the card the way they batted.
Well, Hamish, talk about New Zealand's batting approach. In the middle overs, 7 to 15, they scored 64 runs, lost 4 wickets. They could have showed a more urgency in the middle to post somewhere near 200, maybe 210.
Yeah, they certainly could have, and I'm sure they would have had a discussion after the game and potentially yesterday if they had a wee hit out and a little bit of training, and how can they, I guess, push it a little bit higher. And it's a simple case. I mean, you're not going to get the balance right all the time, and I guess an easy way to talk about it is how can they limit dot balls and maybe play spin a little bit better. Obviously, the leg spin, and Rashid played really nicely for Bangladesh, bowled really well. How can we put him under pressure early in his spell and maybe bring back another seamer or look to another bowler? They only used 5 options, didn't they, the Bangladesh side? So is there a way that we could put someone under some pressure and get that 6th bowler into the game, and then maybe there might present some more scoring opportunities through that? I'm sure, yeah, as I mentioned, I'm sure they would have discussed it. And if we get some play today, hopefully they'll be able to address that.
Yeah, hopefully we have some play today. But otherwise, from your playing days, when there's a rain delay or maybe you're waiting for the game to start, it's raining, what do you do in the dressing room normally?
Read a book, listen to some music, try to relax, stay calm, because we can't, I mean, it's not, we can't do, or nobody can do anything if the weather is something like that. But you just have to be a little bit patient and just go through what you've done in the practice session and think about the game. I think relaxing is more important, because you don't want to unsettle yourself by looking, okay, I prepared so hard for the game, and if the game is not happening, what's going to happen next? Just stay calm, keep calm and carry on. That's what you need to do.
Relaxing is the key. So we'll take a breather, we'll take a short break and come back after that. Well, yesterday was soaked. Today has to be sorted. But not to be at the moment. It's raining here in Chattogram. We are here at the second T20 International of this Dutch Bangla Bank series between Bangladesh and New Zealand. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. It's been raining since yesterday and it's pouring here in Chattogram. We're still hoping for the rain to stop. We are here in the second T20 International in Chattogram. For the third T20 International, we'll move to Dhaka in Mirpur, where the third of the three-match T20 International will take place on May the 2nd. Bangladesh already winning the ODI series 2-1. Welcome back again to S Developers Presents Straight Drive. I'm alongside Hamish Rutherford and Atar Ali Khan. I'll start with Hamish. Hamish, from a team's point of view, when you lose the ODI series, you come up to level this T20 series. You lost the first match. So what goes through the mind of the players and the coaching staff?
Probably not too much, not too different, to be honest with you. They're probably just trying to play what's in front of them. I think, obviously, you know, it's a new look side here, so there's a lot of experience to be gained, and I think they'll be leaning into that. A lot of conversations about learning and trying to get better, and almost potentially, it sounds a bit funny, but the result maybe might not be forefront in the mind. Obviously, you want to win and do well, but I'm sure there's that other thought that's going on in the back of the head. Yes, it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back today. Again, with the weather around, will their side look slightly different? I'm not too sure. Ben Sears, I'm pretty sure he's flown in from the PSL, so I'm sure we'll see a little bit of him. He bowls nice raw pace. And obviously the skipper, Tom Latham, hurt his toe in training before the first game, so I'll be interested to see if he's fit and up and about.
The way from Bangladesh's point of view, it was a big setback. They didn't play the T20 World Cup, but they were in a very good touch in this format of the game. And some fresh faces, the likes of Parvez Imon, Shamim Hussain, surely adds the strength of this T20 side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mazhar, if you look at the combination of the team that Bangladesh tend to select, they have a lot of youngsters around. You mentioned about Shamim, Toy, Ridoy, handle the skipper right at the top of the order, Liton Kumar Dash. You have others around. They have been looking a good unit. And to back what I just said is in the last 5 series, T20 International Series, Bangladesh has won 4 out of the last 5 series. So which says a lot of that a team in the early, if you go back a couple of years back, they would struggle in T20 International, but they had prepared so well for the T20 World Cup. Unfortunately, could not participate, but they haven't stopped there. And they have given the fans, the country, a lot of hope by showing what they can do in this format of the game. Not just in the batting department. You've seen how well they've fielded. You remember that Ridoy's run out. At times, bowling, perhaps at times on an average side, but they are still a force to be reckoned with. New faces in, but they've put their hands up and said, okay, fine, it is my responsibility to do a good job for my team, and if I can do that, we will end up winning this. And they've won it on 4 series in the last 5 T20 series. Says a lot about the team, which has gone from strength to strength.
Hamish, from New Zealand's point of view, it's a new look T20 side. Most of them are away playing those franchise leagues. So it's a great opportunity for these players who are here.
Yeah, it certainly is. Look, you know, this is an international game of cricket for your country. And I know a lot's been said, and you know, maybe I've leaned into it a little bit too much about this being a fresh side. But in 2 years' time, you'll look back at the records and it will say Bangladesh versus the Black Caps. You won't really have to dig in too much to see who actually played. So for me, it's an opportunity for these players who've played a lot of cricket domestically to put their hand up and say, no, I should be considered in the first team. I should be considered in a couple of years' time for a World Cup. So there's plenty on the line for all these guys. You know, you're obviously in the subcontinent, which is very foreign to us players from New Zealand. Just everything about being over here is so different. You know, even I can't believe it's raining, and it hasn't stopped raining, has it? It's crazy. But the experience that they'll gain here, you just can't replace. So I'm sure they'll be much better off for this series. Obviously, they want to walk away with a victory, and they'll be hoping they can either get out here today or it's a rain off and, you know, win the last game in Dakar to level it.
Thank you, gents. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Right, that's it from all of us, but we are hoping that the game starts on time, but don't think so, but we'll have some good news whenever it is there. We'll come back to you. Sit back, relax, and have a cup of coffee.
Welcome all to the Bir Shrestha Flight Lieutenant Mathur Rahman Cricket Stadium here in Chattogram for the second T20 International in the Dutch-Bangla Bank series between Bangladesh and New Zealand. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to like what you see in picture. Rain persisting. There was rain yesterday, and since this morning has been a steady drizzle, and that has not allowed the toss to be undertaken, and it's going to be very difficult. A little earlier, just see as we see the covers come on and the rollers making sure that the wind doesn't blow the covers away. And look at that rain in the backdrop of the lush surrounds of the stadium here, belting down. It's eased off a little bit. This was earlier today. And in the distant, beyond those, well, now look at the difference. This is definitely eased off the rain, but it's still coming down. And once the rain carries on, I'm afraid the umpires are not going to come out and have a look at the ground, even bother to do that. But it's a pleasure to have HD Ackerman alongside me. HD, not the best of times to be in a cricket ground today.
Yes, I mean, it's not ideal at all. I mean, for Bangladesh, they obviously 1-0 up in the series. They probably wouldn't mind, even though knowing cricketers, they'll want to get out on the park, and particularly in New Zealand, to try and level this series. The good news is that when we look around the playing surface, it does seem as though it's a very good draining ground. So once the rain does stop and the curator's able to take the covers off, there'll be a little bit of work that needs to be done, maybe a little bit of rolling on the actual playing pitch. But the outfield, there doesn't seem to be any big puddles lying around, any just standing water. So that might be some good news to hang on to.
Absolutely. And this outfield dries pretty fast. The underground drainage is good. It takes about once the rain stops, it takes about an hour and a half to get the wicket ready if they get that chance. But when is the rain going to stop? That is the question that we're all pondering, and we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, that it happens soon. Well, when you think about the teams, they'll be very frustrated with the situation. New Zealand would want to come back strongly into this game. Bangladesh would want to assert their authority and go forward by 2-0.
Look, there's nothing worse than, from a player's perspective, that you're just sitting in a dressing room waiting until umpires say, look, the game is off or the game is on. We're going to be half an hour. We're going to be an hour. It's very frustrating for both sets of players. And particularly as well, if I look back at the game that was played the other day, the first T20 International, is that both teams actually played quite well. So there'd be lots of confidence coming in to this into the second T20 International from both sides, even though Bangladesh are 1-0 up.
Thanks for your thoughts, HD. Well, just have a look outside the situation. It's still raining. It doesn't look as if it's going to abate soon, but we are sincerely hoping that we have some cricket very soon. The toss is delayed due to the rain, and we are sincerely hoping, as I mentioned, that we have game. As soon as we have any news, we will be back for some live action. We are back at the base Resta Flight Lieutenant Matthew Rahman Cricket Stadium for the Dutch Bangla Bank T20 International Series. The second T20 International was supposed to be held, but unfortunately, that is the situation. The rain has persisted right through the day, and we don't have any good news for you. The match between Bangladesh and New Zealand in the Dutch Bangla Bank T20 International Series, the second one, has been abandoned due to rain. Very, very unfortunate. A lot of effort made and a lot of frustration all during the day, hoping that the rain would abate and go away and give a chance for us to have some play, but not to be. And umpires and the match referee deciding it wasn't going to be happening today. The tour so far, 3 ODIs, the first one by New Zealand, Bangladesh coming back strongly to take the ODI series 2-1. And the first one was a humdinger of a match which Bangladesh won, the first T20 international here. And of course, there's a no result here. It's been raining, there's been lightning and thunderstorm, and the series Bangladesh leading by 1-0 with one match to go in Dhaka. Was just looking around, you can see the rain still coming down. Right, so the match I was talking about, Dutch Bangla Bank T20 International Series, the third T20 International, and when we all move to Dhaka, that's going to be held on the 2nd of May at 13:50, and we're live from the Bangla National Cricket Stadium in Mirpur, and we're all looking forward to that one. Hope the weather holds. Thank you for being with us, and just hope that everyone stays safe and we all enjoy the next match. For the moment, it's goodbye from all of us here.
Not really. They've played one series each. Well, some matches end with a winner. This match wins the weather, and the second T20 national between Bangladesh and New Zealand happens to be an abandoned one. A bad news here for the cricket lovers all across the world. It's a shame that rain kept the game away from us. The sky gets the final word here in Chattogram. It's still raining here in Chattogram, and as we all know, the match officials have already called it off, and it's been abandoned. The second T20 international here in Chattogram. It's pouring here in Chattogram, and we will be hoping the third T20 international will move right away. Right, welcome back again. We are here at the Ace Developers Present Straight Drive. I'm alongside two special guests, Shamim Ashraf Chaudhry and Hamish Rutherford. Shamim, I start with you. It's a shame the weather, we have nothing to do with it, but still the players will be disappointed.
Yeah, of course, it'll be very disappointing, particularly for the players. We're all disappointed here, understandably. But I feel sorry for New Zealand in particular. I think they played a very, very good first match. It was a close match. Bangladesh asserted their authority, and both teams will be fancying their chances and trying to get back level. New Zealand, Bangladesh would want that lead to be taken early on, but not to be, what can you say, it's beyond anybody's control.
Hamish, as Shamim mentioned, the first match, yeah, New Zealand didn't manage to win that one, but they showed good character. There was a few positives from them. What are the positives you take from the first match?
Yeah, I think there's plenty. Obviously, a couple of guys debuted, and Nathan Smith and Matt Fisher. We saw Clark and Cleaver's partnership of 80+, which was very good. Clark, obviously, with his maiden international T20, 50. So obviously, that's something you can build from. And just being over here and experiencing these conditions as well. So, yeah, there's plenty of positives, but like you've just mentioned, it's a shame that the rain's one here today and they aren't able to I guess, level the series and then have it all to play for in a couple of days in Dakar.
Yeah, a quick match summary for the first T20 International. New Zealand posting 182 for 6. As you mentioned, Cleaver and Clark scoring 50. But in reply, Bangladesh did really well to go on to chase the target with 2 overs to spare. Tawhid Hridoy unbeaten 50. Shamim and Imon playing good knock as well with the bat. But it was Clark striking his maiden T20 International 50. Played really well, Shamim.
Very well, and you can see just 37 balls for his 51. He had an array of shots. You could see that he liked the ball coming on. Every time there was an angle to be used, he swept it, he drove, and he cut very, very convincingly. I think he has all the shots in the book. Augurs well for the future of QE cricket.
Hamish, your take on his innings, the way he rotated his strike and the way he struck those boundaries and singles?
Yeah, I think he's very good, and people in New Zealand that have seen him over the last few years, they'll know his quality and know the growth that he's shown. So it's great that he can obviously come here and do it on the international scene and be able to put in a good performance for his side.
Yeah, I must mention the fact that New Zealand lacked partnership. On the other hand, Bangladesh had 3 very good partnerships that helped them to chase the target. Talking about partnership, the likes of Tawhid Hridoy and Parvez Imon batted really well, changed the course of the game, where at one point it looked like Bangladesh were struggling in the middle. Shine by.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they started off, particularly the power play, they're way behind what New Zealand scored. They scored 100. They're hardly 60 in the power play, and the pressure was on this pair in the manner in which they turned the game around. Initially, just making sure they did not get any any chances to the New Zealanders. But once they got their rhythm in, the lovely manner in which they garnered the runs was there for all to see. At the same time, they had to really put the foot down on the accelerator and get a move on because they're falling behind on the required run rate. Eventually, it happened with 2 overs to spare. Excellent stuff.
Yeah, talking about Tawhid Hridoy, he batted so well. The innings revolved around him. First it was Hridoy, and then Shamim and Imon came in. Tell us more about Hridoy's knock. It was more of a, he had to wait for his time to play his shots.
Yeah, I thought he was beautiful. Was able to access all the areas of the ground and just put away a little bit of bad bowling through the middle from New Zealand, put Sodi under pressure. But it was almost a game of 2 halves in a way. The first 10 overs belonged to New Zealand, and then the following 10 overs, obviously, Hridoy and the other 2 partnerships won the game, and they won it in a canter, didn't they?
Yeah, very impressive. The score is scoring areas. 51 of 28 balls. And Tawhid has always promised. He started off with a bang, his career, international career. But there's a little bit of a period when he was struggling a little to find the runs. But once he gets his rhythm going, and at a time, it's the essence of a player. Shows you how mature he is, how good he is. When he's under pressure, he performs and takes his team from a position where it's not quite sure where you're headed to a position of strength. I think that is one area that is improved by leaps and bounds.
Hamish, in terms of New Zealand, what are the areas they can improve and what are the learnings they can take from the first match?
Yeah, I think it's that middle phase, both with bat and ball. I'm sure they would have spoken about it after the first game. They got themselves in such a good position with that partnership of Cleaver and Clark, but they weren't able to capitalise as they would have liked through the middle. I think Bangladesh, to give them credit, with ball in hand, they were very, very good through that middle phase with their spin, but they closed out the death phase really well with bowling Yorkers and really sort of strangled New Zealand to be able to get to 180, which we thought was a good score, but actually it proved to be maybe 10 or 20 short. There's a good breakdown there. It's those overs 7 to 15. It's vastly different, vastly different. So, you know, as we move forward to Dakar, that's the area I think that they'll be looking to improve on with both bat and ball.
Tours like this surely give them a lot of experience as well when it comes to New Zealand.
Indeed, you've got to take into account that the top players are playing in the IPL and the PSL. And this, the young, well, they might be young of age, but young in terms of experience. That's given them just the ideal foundation for the future of New Zealand cricket. I think the depth of cricket, Hamish will explain further, is very, very good. And when you have about 57 players right at this moment playing in Sri Lanka, in India, Pakistan, here in Bangladesh, that is a huge amount of experience. Subcontinental conditions can be a little tricky for teams from Australia, New Zealand and England. But this is something that they'll take forward with a lot of positivity.
Well, New Zealand had a big blow just before the T20I series. They lost their captain, regular captain Tom Latham at the very last moment. Someone like Nick Kelly comes in. So it's a great opportunity for him to show his leadership and also the challenges that comes within that.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's captain inside Wellington for a number of years now in all formats. Obviously missing Tom Latham is a big miss for the side. Just his leadership is, I guess, he's played international cricket now for a lot of years. But Nick Kelly knows these players. While he might not know the conditions as well as Tom, it's at the end of the day, it is a game of cricket. So he'll relish that. I think it's New Zealand's 4th captain in 2020 cricket in 2026. So it's quite a rare stat. But still, Nick Kelly becomes the 13th player to captain his country. So I'm sure a proud moment, something he'll reflect on in years to come.
Hamish, you played here during your playing days. So how difficult it is from a player from New Zealand to come in and adapt right away? I know it's quite difficult. Can you just explain a bit more?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's mainly the heat. It's dealing, obviously it's raining today. But prior to this, in the one-day series, it was very hot. And you know, just dealing with playing in the heat, you know, I'm from Dunedin. It doesn't get above 20 degrees at times. So, you know, it's vastly different here. You talk about, I guess, when I came here, it spun a lot. But what I've seen in the last couple of weeks in this series is there's a lot more bounce and carry. So that's credit to the curators being able to, I guess, produce an evenly balanced surface. You know, it's offering something for the seam bowlers, which also brings in the batters. So, yeah, just small things like that.
Tembe, from Bangladesh's point of view, when you have an opposition that doesn't have that much of experience, you don't know the players, so how do you adapt with that sort of situation to read the opposition?
I think it's always wise not to play against the face or the man or the person and to play against, if he's bowling, against the ball. I think so imperative in cricket that you're not overawed by famous names and also you don't get overconfident with unknown names. So it's basically what you're doing is playing the ball to its merit either side of the ground. So that is what Bangladeshi players should tell themselves. Look, you've got to ensure that maybe you do a little bit of homework with everybody and know what they can produce and try to act accordingly. But you've got to tell yourself it's not the guy, it's the game. It's what he's dishing out. That is so very important. It is a mind game, after all, cricket. So every time you take that ascendancy, you have the confidence in dealing with whoever comes to play against you. I think that's a good way of going about it.
Rightly pointed out, Shaim. But Hamish, one more thing. Bangladesh did win the ODI series, but from New Zealand's point of view, winning the first match of the tour will surely give them a lot of confidence, since this match, the third T20 international, will take place in Mirpur.
Yeah, certainly. Well, I mean, they're probably, yeah, it's a different format, but they'll take some sort of positives from it. Obviously, it's a shame to miss here, but Ben Says will, I presume, come into the side. Whether they look at changing the order as well, probably not. Obviously, one game. So apart from that, the team's going to be relatively similar. But yeah, they'll be looking forward to put a good performance on the board last game here, and then they get on the plane to other things. But yeah, it's always nice to finish with a good, solid performance.
Thank you, Hamish. You're a busy man. You're going somewhere. Right. We'll have something very special coming up. For the third T20 international, the two teams will face each other in Mirpur. It's going to be an interesting affair, as we have seen in the first match as well. A very good T20 cricket. Right, there will be a very special promo coming up, but before that, we'll take a short break. Don't go anywhere. Yep. Rain played foul here in Chattogram as the second T20 international has been called off. It's a shame that there's no cricket here in Chattogram. It's the last match of the tour in Chattogram before we move to Dhaka for the third and final T20 international between Bangladesh and New Zealand. Right, we have a very special promo coming up. Let's have a look.
Century for Mustingan.
Welcome back to AS Developers Presents Straight Drive. We are here in Chattogram. Yeah, the second T20 International has been abandoned. Pakistan Tour of Bangladesh 2026 Test Series coming up. The first test starting from 8th of May in Mirpur, while the second test will take place in Sylhet from 16th of May. Remember, it's a part of the World Test Championship, and I'm joined alongside Shamim Ashraf and Atar Ali Khan just joined us. Welcome, Atar Ali bhai.
Thanks.
It's a shame that the second match didn't take place. But yeah, talk about the upcoming series for Bangladesh. Pakistan are coming, 2-match test series, part of the World Test Championship, a very crucial one for both the teams.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, and I'm sure the fans will be very excited. Remember the last time when Pakistan played Bangladesh in a test series, that was back in Pakistan in 2024. And Bangladesh did play 2 test matches, and on both occasions, they went on to win. So they won the series 2-0. And quite a substantial margin if you're talking about the first test they won by I think it was 10 wickets and the second was 6 wickets. So surely Pakistan will also be regrouping and telling themselves that we have an opportunity, as you rightly pointed out, it's a World Test Championship, part of the World Test Championship. But by achieving that result, especially in Pakistan, Bangladesh will be quite keen to repeat the performance. You look at that side, led by Nazmul San Shanto, but they have picked up a couple of new faces who haven't made debut for Bangladesh team in Test cricket. One is Tanzid Hassan Tamim. We've seen him in the white ball format, and there's another interesting name. He's been a pretty hot, red-hot form in first class domestic cricket. Amit Hassan, right above Nahid Rana. He averages almost 50. He's got 11 first-class hundreds, more than 3,000 runs. I'm not sure whether he'll get an opportunity, but definitely Habibul Bashar, the chief selector, is thinking differently and trying to get the combination right. It looks a solid side.
Shamim, your take on Pakistan squad. It's a good squad. They have drawn their first test series of this cycle of the World Test Championship against South Africa. Tell us more about this squad.
They've got a mix of youth and experience. They've got a couple of new players in Fazal and Ahmad, but Azan Awais, those are 3 names before the experienced Babar Azam. But what they're banked on, maybe most of the players will be the experienced Lord Mohammad Rizwan with all his experience. Ghazi Gori also has really played some good knocks. Norman Ali, the spinner, is very impressive. Sajid Khan, we've seen him in action. And Salman Ali Aga in any format, he is a super player. Shahin Shafridi leads from the front, starts off bowling very pacey deliveries, and I think they've got a well-rounded unit. Pakistan are sending a decent team here.
Otherwise, if I talk about someone like Mushfiqur Rahim, played his 100th test match, Mominul Haq is also in the squad. Your take on these 2 experienced players?
Well, they need to carry their team on their shoulders, make no mistake, and they have done that in the past. We know how good Mushfiqur Rahim is. Hats off to him. Playing 100 test matches, it's a great milestone. And with the kind of services that we have seen from someone like Mominul Haq to handle the pressure, if you lose early wickets, he'll go and make sure that he blocks one end off. And also the kind of experience that he has that in the longest format of the game. Surely Bangladesh will bank on them. But what Bangladesh will also be looking forward to, the others, to make sure whoever gets in makes good contribution. We've seen that if our batting comes good, we tend to push the opposition on the back foot. Our bowling side has been sensational with the inclusion of Nahid Rana, Ibadat Hussain is back, Taskin is there, Shariful Islam, and the spinners. But if our batting comes good, then the opposition will take a serious note.
Yeah, I think you've got to go back to Mominul Haq. This is his favorite ground. He is born not too far away in Cox's Bazar, so everything in his favor. He started off with, I think, 12 centuries very early in his innings, fallen apart down a little bit And this is the time to put up his hand. The ideal opportunity, I just hope the weather holds up. But other than that, I think, as Athar said, Bangladesh have got to perform with the bat. Consistency with the bat is imperative. All departments of the game have to be covered. And also, you can't forget the fielding aspect. It's a test match. It takes a toll on you, on your physical fitness. So that's one area also. I think Pakistanis might have a little bit of an edge over us, and let's see how it transpires. Because, as we keep on saying, it's a mind game. Anyone taking the ascendancy early in the test match will, I think, dominate parts of the game.
I think a word on just someone like Babar Azam. And we showed that Pakistan team, and we know that he was going through a bad patch. But now, all of a sudden, in that shortest format of the game, he's picked up not one, but 200s. So he's coming back to form. I think if he continues this form, then that can be sort of a headache for Bangladesh team. So I think the coaching staff, the team management, and the players will keep a really close eye on him. Because if he gets going, then he can really take the game away from, not just from Bangladesh or any opposition. And he's in terrific form.
And it's also the adjustment to the test match format. You know, white ball cricket, more of it now, T20s and one-day internationals. But just getting adjusted to the longer format, very important, because Bangladesh don't really get to play test matches often. So once they get the opportunity, they should grab it by both hands.
Right, the mood is still in the T20I. We've still got one more game left in this series between Bangladesh and New Zealand. The third and final match of this series will take place in Mirpur on May the 2nd. And since the second match has been washed off, the third and final match of the series will be a crucial one. It will be interesting to see how the two teams perform. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Right, it's time to go back to home and enjoy a bit in this rainy day. Until then, you all enjoy our coverage. Good night.
সাথে